Welcome back to TRS-80 Retro Programming. Okay, guys, I have so much to say, but little time, so I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. Geez, my mind's going in so many directions right now, but first of all, a shout out to everyone that has contributed to this channel, both directly and indirectly, over the past year and a half. I think it's been about a year and a half, something like that. In that time, I went from a novice programmer to a intermediate to expert programmer, somewhere in there. I'm not quite an expert yet. I think I'm between intermediate and expert. And when I started off, I had a lot of big ideas, and I wish I knew now. You know how the saying goes, right? I wish I knew then what I know now, because it would have made things a lot easier for what I was trying to do. I struggled, and I know a lot of other people probably have too, or are struggling. With video games, making video games and animations. Guys, you know, the extended TRS-80 booklet that comes with your Color Computer too. And let me just clear the screen. And for anybody that's not sure here about what's going on this channel, I color the Color Computer too. Okay? But most of the programs that I write, actually all of the programs that I write are on a Color Computer 1 emulator with extended memory. So guys, I'm using a Color Computer 1 emulator, and I have 23K of memory, and that's what you need to make most of these programs that I'm showing you. Okay, but when I had the original hardware, I had a Color Computer, C-O-M-P-U-T-E-R something. Color Computer 2 is what I actually owned. Okay, so there's very little difference between the 1 and the 2. So everything that I'm doing, you can do on the 1 or the 2. Alright, I wanted to say that first, and now try to focus my thoughts here, because I had a lot of things to say, like I usually do. I'm sure most people probably skip this part, but you know, if you want to listen to, you know, my qualms, you're welcome to. And you know, I enjoyed talking to you guys. So 41 lines of code is what I have there. It's not a lot of code. I wrote this in a day and a half. And I wish I knew then what I know now, because you know, this was one of the last frontiers here. I learned everything else, but I could not understand PCOPY. And what I was saying about the manual, the extended color basic, it does not sufficiently cover PCOPY in any way. And what they do cover in extended color basic is a corrupted program that doesn't work right. There's so many corruptions in that book, I would try to avoid it. I mean, that's what I use to learn what I know now, but I also had to utilize videos, because a lot of that stuff in the book just doesn't compute. And I found so many errors. I have made videos that, you know, that expose a lot of these errors. It's just ridiculous how many errors are in there, or how many things are insufficiently covered. So guys, if you want to make video games, which I'm sure everybody's main goal is to make video games, when you had a computer, it just turned into a game machine, you know, and pretty much nothing else. So what you need to know to make video games, guys, is you need to know how to use get and put. Okay, I am just gonna, I don't know how to, I don't want to mess up my program here, but you need to know how to use get, put, PCOPY, draw. You need to know pset and preset. Now these are all video screen commands. I don't deal with text screen. And you also need to know how to use P mode. Okay, guys? If you master all of these things here, you will be able to make a pretty decent video game. I would also recommend learning how to use P point, which is hit detection in a very crude way. But this is a 1982 retro computer. It can't help being crude. That's just the way it was. It was cheaply made. Radio Shack, they made a lot of crappy products, but they also made a lot of good products. And this is one of their in-between products. Once they got to the Color Computer 3, then you were talking business. But the Color Computer 1 and 2 is just very cheaply made. I see what they were trying to do, but they were trying to keep costs low, but that also means that you had a cheap video processor, which is evident by this text screen, which is very bad, and the limited editing functions. It just goes on and on, but if you can get used to it, this is a pretty good computer for a cheap computer that hooks up to a television set originally. They did a pretty, and I think Microsoft is responsible for a lot of this. Microsoft was a key player in this, and they would not have been able to do what they did without Microsoft. So I'll just leave it there. But today's video is going to cover PCOPY. Everything else I've already covered in other videos, and I struggled like hell with how do I get a background, a full screen background that doesn't erase when I move sprites over it. And you know, it was just a constant struggle trying to figure out different ways. Some of them worked, some of them didn't, some of them worked, but they didn't work very well, and most of them just didn't work very well, and they slowed things down so badly. Like it's just ridiculous. I struggled and struggled and struggled, and it's so easy, guys. A kid could do this. Seriously, if you've ever heard that, a kid could do this. Problem is, the book does not address it correctly. So I'm going to address it for you. I only have a few short minutes here, so I got to get to the program. I'm going to run this program, and I want you to take a good look at this. Okay, what you're looking at here, guys, is P mode 4. You can't see my hand, but I'm holding up 4 fingers. This is P mode 4. It's the high resolution option available on the Color Computer 2 and apparently the Color Computer 1. When I say Color Computer, think of 1 or 2. I'm just going to say Color Computer from now on. So you're looking at P mode 4, which has no colors. Okay, it has 2 colors, but they're black. They're not really colors. It's black and white. I mean, technically these are colors, but you just have black and white to play with, so you need to get very creative when you're doing drawings, okay? So down here, and I'm going to move this ghost out of the way. Okay, so I can better explain what's going on here. Now, when you're doing drawings like down here, you need to get creative because we only have 2 colors to work with. These trees, you know, you have to figure out a way to draw leaves in or leave them like this. But This was, like I said, I only did this in a day and a half. Something like this takes weeks to make it really look good, and I'm not done with it. But you know what I mean. You're going to have to try to figure out different techniques to fill in the blank spaces in your drawings and make this look good, okay? Now, I love this right here. This is great, okay? First of all, I got this idea from one of my viewers who made me watch a video, and I watched it several times, and this is my rendition of a ghost from that video, but it's different than those ghosts, okay? I don't want to copy anybody's work directly. And this was so much fun to make. All I did was I drew it with draw, the entire outline, then I painted it in with paint, and then I went back and I piece set two little eyeballs, and I made a mouth with line piece set B, which made a little box, and now we have what looks like a ghost. And as you can see on the bottom portion of the screen, I'm using my joystick to move this ghost across this background at a moderate clip, a very good speed here, and we do not have background erasing whatsoever. It's not going to erase, okay? Now, the other thing is, if you're a programmer and you're making games, you need to step back a little, and you have to be innovative. That might not be the right word. Creative, okay, but you need to, and I can't think of the word. You need to make. I'm gonna say a different word, okay, because I can't think of the word. But you need to learn to make allocations for things. Now, if you guys know the ZX Spectrum, this is very much like ZX Spectrum graphics, okay? And that was a great little computer. It outperforms the color computer, and I think it was a foreign computer. It might have been British, I'm not sure. But they made some terrific games, and they kept up with the Commodore 64, if not surpassed them, but they were right in the same ballpark. And the programmers made good programs, but they didn't get picky. The minute you start getting too picky, your programs are either not going to get finished or they're going to fail. So what I mean here is you need to learn to make allocations, and don't worry about the fine details, okay? Just try to make a decent game the best you can. Alright, so as you can see, I'm using the joystick to move this ghost around, and it's the same ghost from up here, but now it's down here. And I have a picture, and there's all these lines, so what does this mean? This simply means that I'm in P mode 4. In P mode 4, you get 8 pages, okay? You can't see me, but I'm holding up 8 fingers, okay? 8 pages, alright? This is very basic and elementary, okay, but it seems to be something that troubles a lot of people, and I was one of those people, so I'm making this as easy as possible. You know, I'm going to call this PCOPY for Dummies, okay? You know that book series? Well, here's the color computer version. We have 8 pages available. We need to use pClear 8 to get all 8 pages, but I would always use pClear 8. There's a lot of technicalities in here that I can't go through right now, but you're looking at page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4 on this screen. Okay? That's what you're looking at here. Literally. So you have 8 of these pages, and use your imagination. You can make a pretty good video game if you know how to move these pages around. So what you do here is I used page 3 to draw a ghost, okay, and then I put the ghost in an array using get, and then here, let's run this program over again. I put him in an array using get, and then I put him down here with the same array, but with variables. And the joystick controls the variables, okay? And I'm using a +5 or a -5. If I go to the left, it's a -5. If I go to the right, it's +5. Now what's happening here is, first thing I did is I made this drawing down here. Then I PCOPY'd this drawing onto page 5, which we can't see. Okay, now this is the other thing. You cannot direct access pages 6, 7, and 8. You can only direct access pages 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't ask me why. That's just the way it's set up. Okay, and by direct access, I mean, I don't know what I mean by direct access. Just take my word for it. You can't direct access 6, 7, and 8. And I'm trying to give you an explanation here, but there's no easy explanation. So just leave it at that. You need to either write these things down or keep them. I don't know. But so what I did here is I did a drawing on page 4. I PCOPY'd it to page 5, which we cannot see. Okay. There's 8 pages total, all right? The next step is I got this and put this down here, but with variables. So I took this from here and put it down there, okay? Now, let me run this again. So before we move the joystick, I got and put this down here. Actually, the first thing I did was I PCOPY'd this to the original picture from page 4 to page 5. Then I got and put this from page 3 to 2, but I didn't use PCOPY, just get and put. So that's memory storage. And so the next thing that happens is the second I move this joystick, like I just did, the second I move this joystick, what's happening is it's PCOPYing page 5 to page 4, and then the joystick, after that's done, you can't see it happening, but the second I move this joystick, every time I move this joystick, it's PCOPYing page 5 to page 4, which gives me my background, and then it reapplies the ghost in a different position using get and using put. And that's what makes this animation possible, and it's a continuous loop. Okay, that is the easiest way to explain it. I mean, it's not hard to understand. They did not cover it in any sufficient way in the book, but I'm covering it now. Anybody that has any questions, go ahead and ask. The source code, I may or may not put it in the description, depending on if people want it or not. Maybe you want to figure this out for yourself. I don't know if you need help with this, but if you do, I don't have a problem putting the source code in there, but it's kind of my work, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I might put a simplified version of it in the source code for you to use, but I don't know if I'm just going to put my work in the source code, but I can give you an algorithm. If that's fair, I can do that, but I don't have an algorithm right now. But give me a few days. Take a look at this, see if you can figure it out for yourself. If you can't, let me know, and I'll be happy to put an algorithm in the description, which I do not have right now, because I'm going to add some more onto this. I'm going to make a little graveyard over here, and for right now, it's just going to be a an empty, like an animation. And I'm going to put a little graveyard over here, maybe a moon in the sky. And, and what I'm going to do is after he goes past here, past right here, we're going to go to another screen. And I can have several screens. So we can have a working video game, but everything takes time. These things take a long time. They get complicated. But I'll keep posting updates so you can see my progress. And I'm going to end it here. It's already been 20 minutes. I don't want this video running too long, but this is not hard to do. And this is the easiest way to explain it. Other people have explained it, and I didn't have a clue what they were talking about. But every little bit of information is another piece to the puzzle, and now all the pieces are together, and I can, accomplish things that I've been trying to accomplish for, 2 years now, and just haven't been able to because of the lack of knowledge with this particular piece of information that's critical. So I'm saying that if you want to make these types of video games for the color computer, any video games, learn PCOPY first, okay? Learn it first. Then learn some of the other things I talked about, like get input and draw. You might want to learn draw and then get input and then PCOPY, but PCOPY is way at the top of the list. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you on future videos. I've been slamming these things out because I have a lot of extra time right now. I'm on vacation, and but pretty soon, videos are gonna slow down again because I'm gonna be busy. I'm thinking about doing a sound video next to explore some of the sound capabilities other than play. Play is pretty much for composing music, but you can also do things with sound. So I might explore that next. All right, and I'm not going to keep you any longer here. But to me, this opens up a whole new avenue here for me and probably anybody else who's been struggling with this and who follows my videos. So, put your mind at ease, and it's not that hard to do, okay? So take care, and thanks for watching.